All right, so let's get right into some of the things that have sold for me in October. This is not all of the items that have sold, but this is just some of them. I didn't have like a whole lot of sales. I don't typically have like a bunch of sales because I haven't reached that point of being like a big time reseller or selling a whole bunch of abundance of items every month. Um, but I do list every single day about like 10 items or more every single day because I do believe that the consistency does help the algorithm. But anyways, let me stop chit-chatting and let's just get into some of the things that I have sold in the month of October. So one of the things I wanted to share was this vintage, I don't really know how to say this, but Hellbros women's gold tone quartz watch, sparkling bezel and braided band. And this sold for my full asking price of $40. I did pay only $1 for it at a yard sale. So that was a good little turnaround. It did have some wear, and I don't really know much about watches, so I just sold it as like untested and not working. I've learned before in the past that if you sell things as untested, a buyer could still force a return and, get their money back or whatever. So it's a good idea if you're not sure just to put untested, but also put not working or just put not working, and then you can further describe more in the description that it it is not working. All right, so let's move on to the next item. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the watch sold within like a day. Like it sold really quick when I listed it. It sold like the same day or the next day. All right, so the next item that I'm selling or that I sold, sorry, is this let me move up to the title here. This super simple song Yellow Star Twinkle plush toy soft stuffed 9-inch learning company. Um I didn't realize this came with an owl. I bought this from a thrift store for like $1, and apparently it's supposed to come with an owl. They weren't in the super simple songs together, so that's supposed to be his little buddy, the owl. And it was in really good condition, didn't have any flaws, and I couldn't find anything like it available for sale here in the US, only like in Australia and other countries, so it was not available. So it was like super rare. So I originally did an auction, started it off at I think $50 or $40, and I had one person interested right away, and they offered me $50. So yeah, that was a nice little turnaround. This sold super quick, and that was a really good find. So definitely an item to be on the lookout for. It's this super simple plush. You want to look at his face clearly and kind of get that memorized. I don't have like the best pictures, but it's something that I'm working on. I'm still a newbie seller, so yep. All right. So the next thing I sold actually was from a buyer that bought two of these from me. This is a vintage Ralph Lauren green polo mug, equestrian horse rider design. Um, this item did have like a lot of wear, like some fading and stuff on it, some discoloration, and some scratches and all that stuff. But I went ahead and I picked it up for, I think it was like 45 cents at the thrift store. And if it didn't have all this wear, it could have sold for probably around like the $30 mark. But because it did have a lot of wear, but also because it is, a less common piece, I did price this not as low as like a lot of mugs typically go for, which is usually around like the $8 to $12 range, I feel like. Um, so this mug, as well as this blue one, which it was bought by the same buyer. I want to say the blue one had like more wear on it. But yeah, so they each sold for $18 from the same person. And I feel so bad because, like, okay, so the person bought, I forget which mug he bought from me, and I shipped it like within a day or two. And then the next day after that, he went and bought the other one. I was like, oh no, I could have saved, shipping and all that stuff. But yeah, so they bought both of them for me. So that was a good turnaround for something that was only like $1. Okay, let's move on to the next item. The next item I sold, which I'm really upset about myself for selling it for this low because they typically sell for more than this. But what happened was I got this from Goodwill for like $3. It was like ridiculously cheap. This item, along with some other Halloween items, I got for about $3. Some of them I paid $2. Just got a bunch of them. It was like the day or two after Halloween. And, so I held on to this for like a year. And at the time, I did have it priced up, probably around maybe around that $60 mark. But then I priced it down because we weren't in, well, actually, I don't think I ever priced it up. So I think I always had it probably priced down. I can't really remember if I had it priced up and then went down, whatever. But I forgot to go and change the price of this. So the person interested in this had offered me, let me go in my notes and check. They offered me, I forgot, it was like super low. I can't remember how much it was, like maybe $15 or so. And I countered them, which I wanted to decline the whole thing and just put it for a super high price, but I was like, no, let me be fair. So they countered me and let me see. Oh, and I can well they offered me 15 and I counted them $25 and they accepted my offer. So this actually sold for $25, which it was kind of a pain to ship. But yeah, it worked and everything and it was in really good condition. Guess I could have had like some close-up pictures to the face. So once again, I'm working on the pictures. All right, so the next item that sold was this giant lovey by Lila and Jack. It's a hippo baby lovey large security blanket, striped stuffed plush animal. It was in really good condition. I picked this up from a thrift store for $2.50 and it sold pretty quickly within a couple of days for my full price, my full asking price of $32. I noticed that this is like maybe the second time I found like these giant lovey blankets, and they really do sell super quick. So definitely you want to be on the lookout for these. I think the first time I found one was at Goodwill and it was like mixed in with the linens. So you want to always check the linens because you never know what could be hiding in there, including loveys. And these big loveys, they sell, and the last big lovey I had too, it sold super quick as well. So these do sell really quickly. So definitely want to be on the lookout for these giant loveys. The next item that I sold was this new Blue's Clues and You blue magenta plush stuffed animal toy 7-inch new in pack. I got this one, I believe, from the Salvation Army, and it was $2. And I had it listed for $22. And I can't remember if I sent out an offer or if somebody sent me out an offer, but this actually sold for $16. So that was a really little good profit, and it was super easy to ship. All right, moving on to the next item that sold was this. Sorry, I gotta scroll up a little bit. This 1987 Friday the 13th Ruby's Costume Company, Jason. I don't even know how to say this name. Boris? I don't even know. Oh my gosh, I don't really watch a lot of horror movies. Halloween hockey mask. It's been so long since I've watched that movie. But I got this from a yard sale and I paid $1 for it. They were moving out, so things were like super cheap. And which reminds me, I think I still have things from that yard sale I need to post. I think it was like some Tasmanian devil stuff, so I need to get that listed. But this sold for I believe the full asking price of $24. So I believe so. So yeah, and it sold like around Halloween time, of course. So yeah, it was a nice little flip. The next item that sold was this Gans tan and pink Peyton giraffe plush stuffed animal toy rare, and I put Reed because I had a lot of flaws. I contemplated on getting this. I got this like at the Haven Attic thrift store, I think I got it from. And oh, see here, the tush tag has been cut, and it took me a. I actually could not find any of these listed. But I figure it was worth listing, even though it had like some wear and stuff like that, because of it was, not as common. So it sold for my full price of $35, and I paid like a dollar or maybe 50 cents for it. So definitely a good flip. It did take like maybe a month or two to sell, so not terribly slow. The next item is this Neiman Marcus men's merino wool brown colored pullover sweater in the size medium. It was really nice. I don't think it had any flaws or any shrinkage or anything like that. It was just really nice condition, super soft. Wasn't like that rough wool feel. I know I got to work on my pictures. I got to get better lighting. I think I'm gonna buy a better ring light and maybe add some lamps and all that cool stuff. I don't really know. So yeah, this sold. I had it listed for $35, but I don't think it sold for 35. This sold for $23, which is a good flip, and I think I got this for free, so there was nothing in this. I think some clothes was just given to me to like just to keep or whatever and stuff, and this is one of them, and so I didn't have any any money into this, so that was a nice little flip, and it took like maybe um less than a month to sell. I did like have it for a while, and yeah, I just kind of just sat in my money pile, if you will. But when I finally listed it, it sold relatively quickly within like a month or so. The next item is this vintage Land Before Time spiked dinosaur plush stuffed animal toy, J.C. Penney, 1988. Really cute. I remember watching this movie when I was younger. Really good little movie. I don't remember all the characters' names, but I would definitely recognize the characters if I saw them in like toy or plush form or whatever. So, it was in actually it had like a hole right there, but it looked like it was an easy fix. But I don't really know how to sew. I could have got my mom maybe to do it, but she's got enough on her plate. Excuse me. But this I had listed for $28, and the buyer sent me a very fair offer of $25, and I accepted it. I bought this at a thrift store, a small thrift store that was going out of business, and they had their things priced super ridiculously high. So they wanted originally $8 for him, but everything that day I went was half off, so I spent $4 and got $25. So that was a nice little flip. And when I did list him, he did sell very quickly within like a week. So definitely want to look out for these Land Before Time plush. And excuse my background, it's not the best. I'm working on it. All right, the next item to sell, which I love because it's so nostalgic to me. I used to love Chuck E. Cheese. Were these three vintage Chuck E. Cheese token coin cups by Showbiz Pizza. It's a lot of three, and it did not have any coins. You want to make sure you put that in the listing. um, these cups had like wear, like they had like some bin marks and stuff like that on them. Apparently, I didn't realize that these cups here, besides the one in the middle, were like I guess like really rare. And I had one collector that was interested in them. He had like a bunch of them, and he wanted to like he wanted them for his collection. So I originally had these listed for $48, and because of the wear, and I only had like okay, so like I bought a bunch of these cups I got from a yard sale along with a bunch of other things, like a handful of stuff, literally like two handfuls of things, and I paid $5 for it within the not for these cups, but just everything together was $5. And yeah, so it's literally like less than a dollar into these cups because there were so many other items that I got. So like cents or whatever. Um, so these sold for $29. And yeah, I probably could have got more and stuff, but I'm all about like the quick money and, just the amount that I paid for it and just definitely happy with the profit. So, yeah. All right, the next item is this vintage cabo chunky knit white sweater vest top women's size medium, and it was made in Hong Kong. I got this item from the bins. I just recently started sourcing at the bins. I don't go there very often because the closest one to me is about 30 minutes away, which I mean, that's not terrible, but it is a little distance away. And a lot of times I'm just more tempted to go to thrift stores and yard sales, estate sales. Those are kind of like my thing, but I do love the bins. It's super fun. Get things super cheap. And this was in really good condition, even though it was white. And yeah, so I had it listed for 25 and I can't remember if I sent the buyer offer or if they sent me an offer, but this sold for $15. The next item was this E&J Classic black and white large spider plush stuffed animal toy Halloween. I got this from Goodwill and I paid like a couple of dollars for it. Um, and I think he had a little hole in him too, but it wasn't like noticeable and it kind of looked like it went with him because, like his web or something had come out of there, I don't know. Don't mind my picture. I have like my computer cord or whatever in the back right there. It's terrible. But like he was just super large and so cool, like kind of realistic in a sense. Like it was just so awesome. And he even had like little hanger there so you can hang him up. So I had it for 28 and the buyer sent me a $20 offer, so I gladly accepted that. And the next item to sell, which I'm surprised it didn't sell much sooner because, oh my God, look at this face. It's like super realistic and adorable. It's this Applause Aventi Siamese Kitty Cat 1987 realistic plush stuffed animal toy, 10 inches. And I think he was like number 10 in like the lot of all of them. I guess the ones that were made. I think I had number 10. I think that's what it means. But like he was just like in a, the sitting up position or sitting position rather, and didn't really have any flaws for it to be from the 80s, but I just thought it was adorable. I almost wanted to keep it for myself, but I have enough stuff, so but he's super cute and he sold for $18 and he did take about maybe like 2, 3 months to sell. So about 3 months is what he probably took to sell. But I would still pick it up again because, it didn't take up a lot of storage and it's just adorable. So, yeah. All right. The next thing to sell is the next thing that I sold was this super amazing find. It is this strawberry shortcake. It's a rare vintage strawberry shortcake baby blanket, custard cat soft fleece, very hard to find. I could not find anything like this listed for sale. Because even like the blankets that I saw of strawberry shortcake weren't the baby ones. So the fact that it was a baby blanket, um, I don't know, it was just like super rare, super adorable. The only thing I could find actually was somebody apparently had made a TikTok video and they had this blanket and another baby blanket of strawberry shortcake. And like I just remember looking at the comments of like everybody being like super interested and wanting to buy it. But that was like from earlier this year. So yeah, definitely want to keep your eyes open for really anything strawberry shortcake. But yeah, I actually just made up a price. Um, and I posted it for 350 and the buyer was super interested and they sent me an offer of $300 and I gladly accepted it. So basically I posted it that night and it sold that same night. So yeah, super awesome finds here. Definitely some cool bolos. And like I said, I'm still learning, but it is super fun to learn about these new things and share it and just kind of gain that knowledge and all that cool stuff.